In fact, there's no even need for this channel again because this book has been written and that's it. What book is this? What book is today's episode's a really exciting one for me because I am celebrating Nigerian writers who document our history. And I found this amazing book. It's not a book review. Like I've been like, ooh, do I want to do a book review? Because I feel like I'm not the kind of person that knows how to do book reviews because I will just gist. Before I start going on about this book, the aim of this video is for me to tell you to read this book. Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's go. You've seen the title anyway, but this is the book. This is the book. I don't know if I was looking at the camera in the beginning, but this is the book. It's called What Britain Did to Nigeria. When I tell you this is the book that my 13-year-old self would have just loved, you know, and it's not too little too late for sure because my hypothetical children will be reading this for bedtime story, for afternoon time story. Like it's such a great book. It's not even a book that needs to be like simplified for children, or it's written in such a beautiful way that even if you're not into historical books, I've read a couple of like books that would talk about history and historical fact. There's something in my eye. Ay. Yeah, I read a few books that, you know, would talk about historical themes or whatever, and it'd be just like such a yawn, you know. It wasn't condemning, but it was almost like a full friendly letter almost. Like there were just some parts of this book and the writing style made me like feel like someone was giving me, the writer was giving me a pat on the back somehow. It was really strange, I don't know, but I thought I should just mention that, and I feel like I would be unpacking some of these things in therapy in a great way, because it really just affirmed a lot of the thought that I was having, and a lot of whenever people would say idiotic things like, you know, the British did well in Nigeria, the best thing that ever happened to Nigeria was the British going there and everything, and you know, it's like, do you understand that there were bloodshed? Do you understand that there were people living in the space that is now Nigeria, various ethnic groups, about 500 languages, you know, in different spaces, and they were merged together into this country, and it wasn't a case of like, yeah, sure, come in, you know. It was spontaneous resistance, you know, and a lot of these people, I don't know, I just kept thinking as I was like reading this page, read the book and then we can talk, and then you understand what I mean. But I don't know why I'm joking. Colonization. But what I realized from this book, reading this book, was that there's so many names and unnamed people and unnamed that we will never know their faces, who sacrificed. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like who also did amazing things and should be celebrated, but because the awful way that the English is so limited, but like the way things have been structured, it's so hard to find. I don't even know if some of these things have been documented. Do you understand what I mean? And anyway, to have all these amazing historians and these writers come up and start to write our story for us, I mean, it's such a great time to be alive. Do you guys understand? Do you understand? The questions I had, my children will never have to have now. Well, they might have new questions, and that's their own business. There was a time when I thought, oh my goodness, I'll never know, and even trying to seek out the truth was almost like are you looking for this? Like, does it even matter? Like, you know, what people usually do is like review the actual covers and stuff, right? The text, for someone who wears glasses, right? Without my glasses, I can definitely see what is written here. The illustration is absolutely amazing in the front. This is what it looks like. What else? How do you review a book? I don't know if there's an audiobook or a Kindle book or whatever, but all these online, all these books that I can't touch, I can't smell, I can't feel, they're not books. Please buy the actual print copy and support a man who is clearly doing the Lord's work and doing great work and opening this conquest. Let you know if you read it or you think. Let me know how to do a book review. I can't even imagine what it took for you to write it, Max. But I just thank you so much for the sleepless nights, whatever it is. It was so worth writing this book for me and for those of us who are searching for the truth. And it's like, do you not read? Okay, if you don't read, please read this book. Please read this book. It's not one of the books that teases you and then it doesn't like get to the point. It like you don't even question the question. It just answers it like that. Bam. I'm telling you. Like like, because you know some books they'll be like, they'll give you the blurb, they're going to do this, they're going to do that, and then the introduction will go on forever, and then you're like, what? And then by the middle of the book you're like, wait, what am I reading again? You have to like literally go to the title and be like, wait, is this still what I'm reading? But at every point, quote me, at every point as you're reading this book, you can literally be like, what did Britain do to Nigeria? It's still answering the question in some form, in some ways, because it breaks it down. It's like, it's brilliant. I don't know why it's not New York bestseller. Or it was the top, whatever. You know, like, it's like, even if you're not Nigerian, read it. Like, now. Read it to your children at bedtime. Read it while they're having their lunch, their breakfast, whatever. Like, if they're bored, tell them to read this book. Read it now. Why are you not reading it? Why are you not? In fact, just log off my channel and go read it. Go read it. There was this scary movie I watched called Things Heard and Not Seen or something, and it was like some ghost has literally lived there before, and things had gone down, and it's almost like they're still roaming about the ghost or whatever. Anyway, my point is, like, it's possible to literally be living in the same space that some things have happened that are still important to you, that could be influencing you today, and you have no clue. Do you understand? But when you know, you're able to act accordingly. You're able to tweak things. You're able to look at what went wrong, like take notes basically. And if this is not done sooner rather than later, emancipate yourself from mental slavery. That's what Grandpa Bob said. That's what he said. And there's nothing. Obviously, there's prison, there's jail, there's being physically restrained, which is terrible, right? There's also that mental slavery, there's that intellectual slavery, there's that knowledge genkula slavery, when you know nothing about where you come from, about the people that have gone ahead of you. I mean, it's like that's one thing that makes me so like, it keeps me up at night. Babe, why are you worried? I don't know. I don't like literally, like, I want to know. I want to read every book on Nigerian history ever written, ever. The good ones, because some of them suck, and that's why I'm not talking about them today. So, like, really, the Google algorithms, it's been making sense. Sometimes they'll be in the ballpark and be kind of like recommending rubbish to be like, dating websites, what else? Like, do you want to freeze your eggs? When are you going to have a child? Whatever. And I'm like, did my mom send you? Kidding. But like, lately, sounds. Recommend more to me. Recommend more historians to me, like more writers. Yeah. So this is Max Siollun. Probably pronouncing that name wrong, but this is a Max Siollun appreciation video. Thank you so much for writing this. Thank you so much for sharing this with the world. Beautiful work like this. And I say beautiful, not just stare at and look at and not do anything, but it propels one to action as well. You know, beauty is that powerful, I believe.
Shout out to you if you made it this far. Thank you so much for watching. I forgot to do an outro, but here it is. Thank you. Bye. Feel free to log off at this point because I was just taking the piss, and yeah, enjoy. Ah.
Preach, Pastor Kule.
I realized the mountain had been climbing. What? I didn't know I already had the answers. Oh, I didn't know.
Seriously?